want to say all praises and honor to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakapadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all our brothers and out there push this truth in all sincerity. And in all honesty, this is a brother from James Jamaica Camp, Yashamai.
Ashar.
I war.
I don't want to have a listen, you know, on World War 3, you know, third war, the scripture mentioned in Revelation. You know, we're approaching that time right now and we're seeing, you know, all the moves to make, you know, basically bring forth this prophecy, you know, this third world war destruction. You know, we're seeing these European nations now start to turn, you know, against America, which I go basically, you know, fulfill Bible prophecy, because according to Bible prophecy, see what I say, the tenor and the beast, you know, shall hate the what? Shall hate the war. And who is the war? America. I will see starting out because, you know, America been sanctioning these nations right across the world over the years. Now we're seeing, you know, nation now start to take a stand against America. You see, because all these nations across the world, them fed up and them tired of America. Because America been the bully for so long. But now it come to an end. Right? Give me a Revelation, brother, 11 and verse 18.
I'm thinking on this. Revelation 11, verse 18. Say, and the nation were angry.
No, we live at the time when all these nations angry with America. Them fed up and tired of America way. Right? Go on.
And the nations were angry.
Go on.
And thy wrath is come.
And who for wrath is come? Yahweh. Yahweh Bashim Shai wrath is come. We live at the time, you know, Yahweh Bashim Shai going to pour him wrath upon this wicked society. That's the reason why all these things happen. All these prophecies, you know, coming to pass now right before we eyes, because we live in that time. Right? Go on.
And the time of the dead, that they should be judged.
And the time of the dead. Who is the dead? These Eden nations. Right. You know? Scripture say, the man that wander out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Right? Proverbs 21 and 16. Right. So these Eden nations are going to get judged. According to Bible prophecy, they're going to get gathered in the Middle East.
Can.
You know? With the Lord Yahweh Shemir Shai, I go plead with them there for his people. Right?
And thou shouldest give reward unto thy servant the prophets and the saints and them that fear the name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
And shouldest what? Destroy them that destroy the earth. What do one been destroying the earth? You know, from the time they coming up power until now. The so-called white man. They've been spraying chemtrail, you know, testing nuclear weapon. You know, you have nuclear waste. You know, all these things been taking place here. You know, GMO food, hybrid seeds, all these things away. The so-called white man been pushing over the years here. So she was say, they really fall, Yahweh Bashim Shai destroy them, will destroy the earth. Can go on, brother?
Alright, it says, this is an article from RT News. It says, EU says RT was published the 22nd of March 2021. It says EU should impose counter sanction on US officials who target European firms. Former French envoy to Washington says. It says the former French ambassador to the US has urged Brussels to consider. That's Brussels and that basically the headquarters when them keep them function that in Belgium. When I mean country are part of the B system.
Tenan.
Yeah. It says urge Brussels to consider retaliatory measures in response to Washington's extraterritorial sanction on European companies, arguing that it was time to defend EU interest. See?
Defend EU interest.
Yes.
Not America interest. Right?
A lot of these countries, everybody's seeing is that because you have Macron, it come out and attack against America. Then you have Merkel from Germany and the rest of these countries. Yes, America being putting sanctions on these countries and pressuring these countries, man. See? So these countries, like I said earlier, start to fight back now. See? So it's time these countries are going to turn them back on America, man. See?
What?
This is Revelation 17 verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
Can't say the 10 horn, you know, which thou sawest. So basically, you know, a prophecy, you know, with John and the island of Patmos, you know, get, you know, all the prophecies and to come. Right? Same say the 10 horn, this is how it basically, you know, John basically said. The 10 horn which basically upon the beast.
These shall hate the whore.
These shall hate the whore. Who is the whore? America is the whore. So this is how I get prepared right now, right before we eyes. These European nations start to, you know, turn against America. Because them tired of America ways, America policies. Right? So if I said, these shall hate the whore. Go on.
And shall make her desolate
naked. And shall make her desolate. Go on.
Naked. And eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Ultimately what happened? Burn with fire. Talking about ICBM missile fire. Right? So even these European nations going to shoot ICBM missile on the land of America, according to Bible prophecy.
Yeah. It says, Pierre Vimont, a career French diplomat who served as envoy to the US from 2007 to 2010, said in an interview that extra territorial sanctions have become a privileged weapon of American diplomacy, that Europe should adopt a new preventative approach to dealing with the tactic. According to Vimont, there is increasing anger in Europe over Washington's attempt to punish those who do not follow its political line vis-a-vis Iran or Russia. As an example, he cited the threats and restrictions. The threat and restriction. The threat and restriction leveled by Washington against European firms involved in the construction of the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline project with Russia. Once complete, it would pump 55 billion cubic meters of natural gas into Germany from Russia every year at a cheaper price than gas exported by tankers from the US.
And so this is how now. They want to cut America, you know, out of this whole gas thing, you know, because, you know, America, you know, been making a lot of money, you know, a benefit of, you know, them gas, you know, because, you know, the US dollar is what, the petrodollar. So they might get, you know, you know, cut out, you know, every little deal with basic tech because they're using the US dollar. But no, we're in a time now when these nations now, you know, want to go against, you know, America way now. You know, don't want to be basically deal how America want to deal with. They might do it the same way now because it's cheaper and better for them. We're going to lead to what? This third world war destruction. Right?
And the nations, them actually now see them as that big, mighty America no more, yeah?
Gone. Scripture there.
This is Jeremiah 49 and verse 31. So rise, get you up unto the wealthy nation. Which
is America, wealthy nation.
That dwelleth without care, say the Lord.
That dwelleth without care, say the Lord. Yahweh Shemir Shai, go on.
That dwelleth without care, say the Lord. Which have neither gates nor bars, which dwell alone.
Which dwell alone, because America going to dwell alone. All American allies going to turn from America. And we already see it start right now. So these nations don't want to cut America out of this whole thing, you know. Right? They want to do America way no more. Cheaper and better way.
Because even Turkey the other day just tell them, say, yo, hey, we not have to really be no friends with you, man. We take whatever we take from Russia and whatever sanction they want to put, it's up to you, man. So a lot of this country fed up America, bully them, man. See?
So this is Isaiah 47 and verse 1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughters of Babylon.
Go on.
Sit on the ground.
Sit in the ground. Sit on the ground. Right, go on.
There is no throne, O daughters of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt sacrifice. Thou shall no more be called tender and delicate.
Thou shall no more be called tender and delicate. You know, because as I mentioned, you know, America been bullying all these nations, you know, over the years. But now we're in a time now when these nations they're fed up and tired of America. Right? Because America started basically losing them power. Right now. Because seeing these nations, they don't really fear America no more. Right? So you must say, come down, sit in the dust, sit in the confusion. What?
I said, take the millstone and grind meal and cover thy locks. I make bare thy legs and cover thy thighs. Pass over the river. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
American nakedness, you know, all America shame. All these nations now see America shame you. Right? What?
Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
So Lord, how shall I say my author? Take vengeance and I'm going to meet you as a man. You know, come back, you know, for the so-called white man, nail him up on a cross, you know, or pierce inside the more. But come back as an angelic force this time around.
That's right.
Right?
This is
mighty. Yeah?
Isaiah 14 verse 4, verse 3. And it shall come to pass, in that day the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou art made to serve. And that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, oh, at the oppressor sees, the golden city sees. Right. The Lord, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
So the Heavenly Father one, you know, basically, you know, take the power. Right?
Right, man.
You smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
Because America been doing this nation bad for basically years, upon years. They've been running in these countries, you know, taking their resources, you know, destabilizing these countries right across the world. But now we reach the point now when this nation now, though they might take a stand right now against America. Right? So she was say, he who smote the people in wrath.
With a continual stroke.
And then continue for it years, upon years.
He that rule the nations in anger is persecuted and none hinder it.
Right? Basically, my rules the nation in anger, man. Because guess what? I'm bad up all of this nation because guess what? Because if according to their diplomacy, see, which, hey, I see them come, when I say dictatorship, man run for all of these countries, man. See, because when I tell these countries, if you don't go, according to how things to go, we're going to put sanction on man. See? A whole lot of sanction and we can get certain deals.
This is Isaiah 33 and verse 1 says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled.
Woe to thee that spoilest you. And the word woe means destruction. And thou was not spoiled. Because you know America don't get spoiled. America been spoiling all these nations for years. But people say, woe to thee, woe to America. Right? What?
And dealt treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee.
And they dealt not treacherously with thee. But we are approaching a time when all these nations are going to deal treacherously with America. Right? They're going to spoil America. And after they spoil America, they're going to shoot ICBM missiles, you know, on the land of America. According to Bible prophecy. Right?
That's right, man.
Says, when thou shalt cease to spoil.
So when America sees some going around the world, you know, and destabilizing these countries, putting them puppet leaders, you know, taking all these countries' resources, this is how scripture says going to take place. Go on.
Says, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, says, when thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee.
Because all these nations are going to come together, you know, Russia, you know, and destroy the land of America. People say, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shemai shall bring America calamity from all sides of the rocks. Right?
It says, Vermont is not the only thinker calling for a more muscular European response to American sanction. His interview came as Jacques Delors Institute, a prominent think tank that calls for a united and assertive a united and assertive Europe, see? And of which Vermont is a member, published a report recommended
Shalom.
a counter-wide, shalom brother, yes, a continent-wide pushback against U.S. sanctions. European leaders, the report recommended should not think that the U.S. would be more accommodating to their demands. Under President Joe Biden, to do so would ignore the steadfast choice the United States has made time and time again in favor of extraterritoriality. It stated, describing sanction as the foreign policy weapon of choice of Congress, regardless of who occupies the White House. See? So that's them strength, but them use to bully nation, because them know them have certain privilege. See? And them backed by feed them money, and the money where the world really do them, as you said, the petrodollar, where the world really, most of the world really do business in them. See? World reserve currency, American dollar. So them can use all of them sanctions here to bully other nations. But now reaching at the time where we see where the Bible prophecies are fulfilled day by day, man. See? And the Lord will bring down America little by little. And basically America is going down faster than you think, man.
Right. That's right.
The economy is crushing faster than you think right now.
And even when them stop say Russia or certain European countries with sanctions, it's still a mess of the market, because other countries have to do business with the countries where you're sanctioned.
Which is right, man.
You know, everybody get fed up because you have messed up the market. So them will try to get rid of you. This is Jeremiah 50 and verse 9. So for lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon.
Which is America. Go on.
An assembly of great nations.
An assembly of great nations. Go on.
From the north country.
Because they want to take America from the north. Go on.
And they shall set themselves in array against her.
Go on.
But from thence she shall be taken.
Go on.
Their arrows shall be as an arrow of a mighty expert man, and none shall return in vain.
Go on, because, you know, as I mentioned earlier on, according to Bible prophecy, you know, America going to get burned by ICBM missile fire by European nations, you know, and all these nations across the world. We're going to shoot them ICBM missile and another of America, according to Bible prophecy. So this is what basically prepare right now. You know, this Third World War destruction. But you know, before Third World War destruction kick off full-fledged, you have the RFID microchip, you know, which is a mark of the beast, have basically become mandatory worldwide. Right? These two main prophecies, you know, we've been looking for over the years. But we've seen, you know, all the moves I make, they basically bring forth this prophecy. So we're not far from basically going, you know, in this society. Very soon, you know, this wicked society is going to come to an end. Because we see the prophecies them now. You know, right before our eyes. Right?
It says, Obadiah, verse 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
The man of sin are going to reveal 9 times. Right? The how about Shemesh, they want to basically reveal so-called white man.
That's right.
Everything, when they've been hiding the years, matter of years, now we're coming out, yo. Because the how about Shemesh, they want to do that, yo. Right? What?
The Lord said, man, turn them one against another, man. So Satan kingdom is fighting against Satan kingdom right now, man.
Satan divided by itself. His kingdom shall not stand.
Come to an end. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
So these nations in league with America, now them start to turn against America. Right? Turn against America now and I go for them one way. They want to fit them think different from what basically separate from themselves from America. Right?
This is the book Habakkuk 2 verse 3 says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
It will surely come, right? It must come, because everything was predestined by the Heavenly Father, in Yahweh Shemir Shai. So all these things have to happen, so Bible prophecy can fulfill. All always here take place now, right?
Then jump to verse 5, it says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man.
Talking about the so-called white man. You know, them transgressed by them philosophies. You know, like them democracies. Them democracy. You know, and them sanction them been pushing. That's the brother going to the article. Right? Go on.
He's a proud man, need to keep it at home.
They don't keep it at home. You have much different, over 800 military base right across the world. America have. Right? So people say don't keep it at home. They're not everybody business. Why if them business are spoiled? As I would have said out here in Jamaica.
The military spread because them in Europe, all about in Europe, Germany, they have them NATO base cause basically what America part of NATO is to defend the NATO countries against Russia. Man. But what these NATO countries are doing now, see, which they are the beast, the European Union, what they are doing is more taking a side with Russia and moving away from America. Because America is being treacherous with these countries, man. See? So they might be back treacherously with America at the point. See? So we see where this thing is going, man. So the Lord Yahweh Shemir Shai pull everything apart, man. See?
Yeah, just like when I watch them movies and see the main antagonists or the bullies, they say everybody are come together to defeat the bully.
Yes,
America is that big bully.
Yeah.
And these nations are come together and say, oh, tired of America's tyranny. You know?
Scripture says, oh, the hammer the hurt.
Cut asunder,
man. It says, he that keep it at home, who enlargeth his desires hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied.
And it can never be satisfied. So-called white man can never be satisfied. Man can lead them own us, you know, to bird paper, you know, and certain other contracts. But that's still not enough. They want to put a chip in everybody. Right? Right? And can't satisfy you. The scripture says. What?
Gather unto him all nations, and heap it unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? Zin? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And the Hebrew word going at the Ibatiat, man. It's America in a whole heap of debt. Zin? And then keep on going out there, putting themselves in a more debt, man, because America spend big on the military, you know. Zin? Meanwhile, the economy a crash, them country, I go down to the dust, man. As the scripture tells us, oh, virgin daughter of Babylon, man. Yeah. They might get drawn down, man.
And these nations now we are turn from America, you know, go help even push America collapse faster. Because the country go start, you know, stop using the US dollar. I know the majority of the US dollar, you know, out in the world because you know the world reserve currency. So these nations stop using it, what do you think of that?
Hyperinflation.
And that's what's coming. Hyperinflation coming for America.
Yes.
Right?
It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. Sin. Because thou hast spoiled many nations.
Because America has spoiled many nations. You know, years, span upon years, they've been doing that. What?
Sin. Because thou hast spoiled many nations. Sin. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Yeah, because all these nations you spoil, they are going to spoil you, man. See? America have been spoiling these countries for years. You remember after the Cold War, when you check Russia, World War II, you're looking at Europe. Europe was destroyed, man. And America stand firm.
Chris, alright, but this time around, this time around, it's not going to be like that. Yo, America going to be the full end of the stick this time around.
As I bring out the precept, the say them deal treacherously. See? Because those deal treacherously. They're going to deal treacherously with America.
Quick one.
Armor the earth.
Alright, so Jeremiah 51 and 11 he said, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord had raised up the spirit of the kings of the Mede for his devices against Babylon.
God, I was seeing, the back and forth thing when I go on, with Russia, with Putin, and Joe Biden, right? Because a lot of the one that basically right up at spiritual, build up a tension between Russia and America, what?
To destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord,
God.
the vengeance of his temple.
Exactly.
See?
Finish?
Yeah.
Am I there?
Right?
So Jeremiah 50 verse 20.
23?
Yeah, verse 22 say, a sound of battle is in the land
God.
and of great destruction. How is the armor of the whole earth cut asunder?
God, how is the armor of the whole earth? Because America is the armor of the earth.
Yeah.
The man the one been pounding all these nations for years, dropping bombs on all these nations. Yeah? Couldn't do to Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Right.
Pound them into subjection.
She's right, man.
So she passed right here. How is the armor of the whole earth?
Cut asunder
Go on.
and broken.
Go on.
How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?
How it happened? Because Yahweh Shemir Shai the one we have bring down, so-called white man have bring down America. Right?
Destroying kingdom.
And destroy America kingdom. Right?
I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon,
God.
and thou was not aware.
Yeah, because all these things you see America push by Israel as a nation, man. It's a trap from the Lord Yahweh Shemir Shai, man. See? Because them feel so when they do all these things, they're going to make them better. See? But them going to force these nations, see, to come at harder at them. See? And unite with them with their enemies. The major enemies, man, to come at them, man. See? So America take that trap, man. America, the Lord Yahweh Shemir Shai just trick Edom like that, man.
Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord.
Because I was strive against the Lord.
man.
Go on. Finish?
He said, the Lord had opened his armory
God.
and had brought forth the weapons of his
He's
indignation.
talking about the ICBM missiles. If I say, Isaiah 54 and 16, so the Holy Lord had created the smith that blew the coals in the fire
God.
and that bring it forth an instrument for his work. Scientists will basically create, these ICBM missile weapons. Because Yahweh Shemir is going to use this ICBM missile to basically destroy the land of America. Right?
So the Lord had opened his armory and had brought forth the weapon of his indignation, for this is the work of the Lord, Yahweh Shemir Shai of hosts, and in the land of the Chaldeans.
Exactly.
That's right, man.
So with that, I say all praises and honor to Yahweh Shemir Shai, Bashim Kodash. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all our brothers out there pushing through in all sincerity and in all honesty. Shalom.
Shalom.